Hey Bella Derma, hey Julie. Thanks guys for joining me live to talk about how to win more high ticket treatment plans, right? We don't want these ones and dones. We don't want people to not complete the treatment protocol, right? It doesn't give them a good result. It doesn't make the med spa the revenue that you're after. So let's talk about how is it that you can win more high ticket treatment plans so it's a win-win for everyone, right? I want you to increase revenue per hour. I want you to be able to sell more memberships, sell more medical grade retail, right? Skincare at the end of the day. And even the best consultations, you can spend all of the time uncovering pain points, getting micro commitments along the way, utilizing tools like patient financing or membership promos, right, in order to allow them to afford a comprehensive treatment plan. And sometimes it still falls flat, right? You have checked all the boxes in the framework of a really great consultation. In fact, if you haven't seen our 7 steps to a 5-star consultation, make sure that you check that out because that's going to increase your success. But what I want to talk about today is sometimes you can do all those things and it still falls flat. And why I often find or uncover why it's falling flat is because of this one reason. And oftentimes it's not the reason that you think. It's not the reason, right? It's not that you didn't uncover pain points. It's not that you didn't explain how it was going to feel. It's not that you didn't give them a great promo or discount, right? Or combination packages, pricing, all of that. It's often this one thing that you're missing. So today I'm going to be unpacking why it doesn't matter how good your consultation is if you don't do this one thing. And the reason why I felt really compelled to share this story with you today is because I find this to come up in pretty much all the things that I purchase. And it made me think about how this potentially could help my clients as well, to help providers and the med spa industry to convert more high ticket treatment plans. And what I'm really talking about is you being a believer and a consumer of your own products and services. You really drinking the Kool-Aid. And I know, guys, it seems so simple, but we forget about it all the time. We skip it all the time. And I want you to think about when you go to a restaurant. When I go to a restaurant and the waiter presents me a dessert menu, oftentimes I'll be like, ooh, I'm really trying to debate between like these two desserts. Like, which one is your favorite? Which one is what do you think is the best? And I'm always surprised when they're like, oh, I haven't tried those before. Because it's like, this is your job to be able to describe them, to tell me what is more popular, right? To describe the flavor, right? I love when they're like, well, if you like, lavender, then you're really going to love this lemon lavender cream cheese frosting. People love it, right? But if you can't describe it because you haven't experienced it yourself, you are missing a huge opportunity with your patients, right? When I bought a car this year, I loved my car dealer. And he wasn't a slimy salesperson. He was like kind of this like nerdy dad car dealer that was explaining to me. And he asked all the right questions, right? I have 4 kids, 4 boys. And so he's telling me about how when he goes on trips with his family, this is the exact car that he drives. And these are all the gadgets that he uses to survive the car trip, right? Because he's a girl dad. I'm a boy mom. He's a girl dad. And we're connecting this way. And he's telling me that He loves this car so much that he's showing me that he has one for his family as well. He drinks the Kool-Aid, guys. And so when you are working with your team, training your team, your front desk, your providers, they need to drink the Kool-Aid. They need to have experienced the treatment themselves. And not just like a sample or a try on, right? They need to have completed the complete protocol. That even includes your front desk, right? If they are talking to someone on the phone on questions about a specific treatment, for them to say something firsthand, their experience is so powerful. So don't skip out on your front desk, right? They also need to be a reinforcer to the treatment plan that someone is committing to or that they just had. So when I just got done getting my RF microneedling treatment, and my face is like a little bit tender, right? And it's a little bit sticky from the post-treatment care that's on there. And I'm going to check out. She needs to be a reinforcer and say like, oh my gosh, you're gonna love how your skin is just going to glow once you get healed. And oh yes, you need this product, this post-treatment product, because it's really gonna extend the results of the treatment that you just had, right? That's really important for the front desk and for the provider as well, right? If someone was to recommend a high ticket treatment plan to me, and then I ask them like, well, have you done this? And they say no, that doesn't give me a lot of confidence, right? And yes, there are certain things that providers are just not going to be able to do, some treatments. I get that, right? But they should at least be able to share firsthand whether it's another member on their team, the hundreds of other patients that they've personally seen done it. They should be able to also explain why they haven't done that treatment, right? And it needs to make sense. Otherwise, you're not going to gain trust with them, right? And so you have to be such believers in what you are recommending to people that you do it, right? And so that's part of, that's also why you need to present yourselves, right, in the way that is mirroring what your patients are after and their look and desire. So that's why your team should be showing up dressed and with their makeup. We get all the time. It's like, oh, we couldn't shoot content today, or we can't post on social media because they didn't have their makeup done today. They weren't feeling really like that their hair was done. They weren't wearing the right thing. It's like, girl, you should be doing that every single day, right? If you're going to be building trust with your patients, if you are going to be drinking the Kool-Aid, right, you got to show up every single day. You got to do the at-home skincare regimen, right? You got to complete the treatment protocol. You can't just do one and done, right? Otherwise, that's what your patients are going to be doing as well. That's what your patients are going to be doing as well. And that's one of the most common things that I see with providers that suck in the consultation room. And not that they suck in the sense of they know the technology. They have good rapport with the patient. They uncover pain points. They get micro commitments along the way. They're not afraid to ask for money, but they are not such a believer in their product or service, and that they don't use it themselves and they can't talk passionately about it, right? And the impact that it's made on their lives, the impact that it's made on their patients' lives. And if you can't talk passionately about it, then that's when you're going to get, so let me think about it. Let me check with my husband, which is like really an excuse. Right? When a woman wants something, she makes a decision, she gets it. Okay. And so I want you to think about that. If you are getting no's, if you are getting, let me think about it, I bet there is opportunity that you are leaving on the table because you are not sharing your personal experience, your personal story, right? Because when they see that you're such a believer in the treatment, in the service, in the product, they are going to jump on board all day long. All right. So I'm going to go ahead, open up the floor for questions. Hey, Dr. Pickens. Hey, Veloderma. Any questions that I can go over in regards to the consultation process in regards to making sure that you and your team are really drinking the Kool-Aid, really passionate about the services that you offer. And the way that you are able to do that is to be users of the products and the services so that you can truly experience those results. Because when you can't show that passion, then they're not going to make the recommendation. And they're certainly not going to get the commitment at the end of the day if they're not even making the recommendation. And that's one of the challenges that I see practices or newer providers have when they are first in the space, is that they haven't even tried it themselves. So they don't even think to recommend some of these services, right? And so the more that your team utilizes the services that you want them recommending, the better they're going to get at creating combination treatment plans. The more confident they are going to be when it comes to asking for a commitment to get started in a comprehensive treatment plan. The better they're going to be able to overcome common questions and objections after recommending a comprehensive treatment plan, right? So when someone says, well, oh yeah, I really like that, but can I just do the first step? Right? Of course, it's easy to say, like, yeah, you can just start there and then we'll see how it goes, right? But someone that has done it themselves, right, and understands the importance of, no, girl, you got to complete all three, right? She's going to be much more confident to be like, yeah, you could start with just step one, but you shared with me that this really is the result that you are after. And I know from experience myself, because I've done the treatment protocol, that you're really going to need to do all three steps in order for you to get that result that you're looking for. I've done it myself, right? That's so much more believable and passionate and telling for the patient than just to be like, oh, well, we really recommend for you to do the 3 steps. No, tell me firsthand that you've lived it, that you've done it, and then I'm going to listen, right? All right, guys, share this with your team. It's such a simple thing, but it's so greatly underestimated of just how important it is. And so for you to have a team of providers and team members, front desk, right, to really be passionate about the services, then you need to allow them to get the treatments, right? So you got to think about, okay, what does that look like, right? And of course, I understand there's consumable costs and whatnot, and you can't just be giving away things free willy-nilly. But at the same time, if it's going to help you to increase tickets, right? Average revenue per hour, memberships, rebooking rates, medical grade skincare retail sales, right? Wouldn't it be worth it? So think about it, right? Can you do once a month or at least once a quarter where you train your team and the team has the opportunity to get treatments done and have terms and conditions in there? I get it, guys, that there's expenses involved in it, but I'm telling you, it will pay you in dividends if your team are true believers and users of your products and services at the end of the day. It's going to make them so much better in the consultation room. It's going to make them so much more confident in recommending the full protocol and treatment plan at the end of the day. All right, guys, if you love this training, make sure that you share it with another team member or med spa that could benefit. And you can always catch my replay on our YouTube channel. To get more access to free trainings, just visit our link tree in our social bio and be sure to join me live every single Wednesday, same time, same place, every single week, 2:30 Central Time. Find me on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Instagram.